Hi everyone. Can I start by wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a very happy 2024. I'd also like to say thank you very much for all of your support throughout 2023. As I said at the recent members' dinner, maybe things didn't go quite as well as they should have done on the pitch after a very promising 2022, but we are hoping to make progress as we go into next year, and we have some exciting things happening at the club. I'm now going to read you a statement about the 100 competition and discussions going on there. I am going to read a bit because there's a lot to be said and I want to make sure I don't miss any of the key points. So forgive me if it's a little bit unnatural, but I am going to read so I make sure I hit on every point. You'll be aware from articles in the media and statements from colleagues at other counties that there are discussions going on at the moment between the ECB and the first-class counties regarding the future of the 100 competition. We intended to update you, our members, in the new year, once these confidential discussions had progressed further. But given news out in the public domain, we felt it was only fair to communicate now. The background to the discussions around the 100 has two key elements. One is there is a need to raise capital within the cricket environment in England and Wales right now to help fund many of the recommendations made within the ICEC report, and also to provide assistance to certain counties who have projects or circumstances that would benefit from additional funding. Secondly, the expansion of so-called franchise cricket on a global basis in India, in the Emirates, in South Africa, and now in the USA. Much of this is being funded by the owners of the IPL franchises, and this provides a genuine threat to the future of domestic cricket in this country. We've seen what's happened in other sports such as golf, and we need to be alive to the potential consequences of not being in a strong position on the global stage. There is a real risk that players get contracted year-round to these franchises and are only offered back to us for very limited windows. At the same time, whatever your view of the 100, it has become an essential element of the ECB's broadcast revenue and is highly valued by Sky as key content during the month of August. The funding it generates is vital to the entire domestic cricket game in this country. We therefore need it to be a strong and self-standing tournament with the ambition that it is the second most popular and successful franchise cricket league in the world after the IPL. This is a realistic and pragmatic ambition. And it does mean that player wages need to be at least competitive with these other leagues. Otherwise, we run the risk of losing our top players to other cricket being played around the world. The good news is that the 100 has been successful to this point. The financial performance over its initial 3 years has been strong for all counties. It's growing quickly, and the Manchester Originals is a highly valuable asset in this rapidly changing global cricket market. For absolute clarity, the 100 is currently contracted until 2028, with a contract for the Manchester Originals to play at Emirates Old Trafford for 3.5 weeks each August until this point. The contract is not exclusive and enables Lancashire to play cricket during this tournament in August at Emirates Old Trafford. At the moment, Manchester Originals is 100% owned by the ECB, and they rent the venue in the same way as when England play international cricket at Emirates Old Trafford. Lancashire Cricket currently has no direct control or influence over the 100 or of the Manchester Originals. In common with the other 17 counties, Lancashire has an indirect ownership stake in the 800 teams and the 100 competition via the ECB. If this ECB stake were sold to an investor, then it is likely that all 18 counties would receive significant cash proceeds which could be reinvested in their clubs and grounds. Since I started as chair of Lancashire 3 years ago, I have felt it is in Lancashire cricket's best interest to have great control of the Manchester Originals team, ideally with a controlling equity interest. This would mean that we can drive the team as a commercial entity and leverage the existing operations here at Emirates Old Trafford. I was also very concerned about the level of the central costs at the ECB associated with the 100. They were too high, and we believed the operating model was suboptimal. As reported there, I can confirm that discussions have taken place between all of the first-class counties and the ECB regarding the transfer of a controlling interest in the 100 teams to the host venues. As a board, we're supportive of this. The ECB, on behalf of the broader game, would retain a sizable stake. It is likely that the ECB would want to introduce external funding into the 100 teams for the reasons described previously, but this would be done in full consultation with the host counties. There have also been discussions, which are ongoing, about the structure of the 100. Several options have been considered, including maintaining the status quo with a single 8-team division, an expanded single division of up to 10 or 12 teams, 2 closed tiers of 8 and 10 teams, both playing the same format, or 2 tiers but with some form of controlled promotion or relegation. That's where the discussions have started, and overall we believe they're positive for Lancashire and provide us with greater control and financial potential. However, we would be very concerned that a 2-tier 100 would prevent Lancashire playing as the Red Rose in the month of August, and this is unacceptable to us. The reason this would happen is that players not drafted into the top division of the 100 could go and play in the 2nd tier, undermining county cricket in August, in our opinion. As a board, therefore, we have a clear preference for the way forward. We do support the transfer of a controlling equity stake in the Manchester Originals to Lancashire Cricket. We do see the Manchester Originals as a separate team from Lancashire and in no way as a replacement for Lancashire in the different formats of cricket. We would not accept any expansion of the window in the schedule allocated to the 100, even if the number of teams expanded. Lancashire needs to be playing cricket at the same time as the 100 in either red or white ball format. We are happy with the current 50-over format taking place at this time. Also, the T20 Blast needs to be an absolute priority for everyone and should be improved and not undermined in any way by these discussions and decisions. We therefore support a single division solution with expansion only if it can fit into the existing time window. And I will reiterate that, only if it can fit into the existing time window. We'd be very happy for investment into Manchester Originals from a third party, but only if that third party is acceptable to Lancashire Cricket. They shouldn't be forced onto us. Also, we are clear that any investment would be into Manchester Originals and not into Lancashire Cricket. The Lancashire teams and Emirates Old Trafford will remain as they currently are, assets owned by our members club. Whilst we don't need a capital injection at this point of time, if it were to happen, the money would be used for 2 reasons. 1, to pay down our existing debts when the time's appropriate, and 2, investment into the cricket infrastructure of Lancashire. That would either be here at Emirates Old Trafford, into the indoor cricket centre, into the nets, or at our new second home in Farringdon near Preston, where we're developing 2 cricket pitches for use by many of the Lancashire cricket teams. There will be no other use for those funds. It's either cricket or paying down debt. So that's where we're at. We've made our views very clear to the ECB, but every county has its voice and individual views have to be considered. There is clearly much debate still to be had. Ultimately, there will be a vote on a proposed solution, but we're not there yet. That vote would need 14 out of 18 of the first-class counties to approve any proposal. We commit consulting with you, our members, when there is something concrete to consult on. Once a clear set of proposals emerge from these discussions. They're not at that point yet, but we will update you as things progress. And we will also schedule a members' forum in the new year to discuss this topic in more detail and to hear your views and share ours as things develop. I hope this statement helps to clarify things, but we're happy to answer your questions at this forum or if you need to contact us via Chris Peacock in the meantime. So, once again, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I thank you for your support and please be assured we will continue to communicate as things develop and progress. Many thanks.